What's up guys, I'm PawsBuild and welcome back to our Ethical Zoo franchise series in Planet Zoo. Previously we finished off our multi-species Oceania habitat and we made an official zoo entrance, so guests are no longer randomly spawning in. In this video we're going to add a jaguar habitat to our zoo, so I hope you enjoy. And now we've moved our zoo entrance to a little bit further out. Our capybara education is just outside of the power, so we're just going to have to adjust this, move this over here where it's still within range, which is only a minor change. Okay. So we've just moved that across, so they've got a bit better coverage within the power, and now everything else is still powered, which is good. We've got something here. What's this? Oh, it's vandalized. Oh wow, that's expensive. People, who vandalizes a child's toy, like education toy? Well, I guess a child. Okay, let's check up on our animal research. Our vet research is plowing on. We need these guys to finish on the bats so that we can improve our bat enclosure, get them a nice habitat. But we also need to improve our guest facilities out here, and I think we may do that right now. And we're going to carry on the theming. So before we had, so obviously this area is the South American area, so this is themed this way. This is Oceania, so we're going to have a similarly themed food and drink stall area here, and then we'll just blend the seats between them. We've just discovered a diseased animal. Right, let's quarantine these. That's not good. Why are you diseased? Maybe it could just be generally that they you know, random events type thing in a game. But I think it's more likely, yeah, their power needs fixing. So this has not been maintained properly. It probably needs to be on every 6 months. Maybe we should just turn it to 3 months to be sure. Oh, let's put it on. So basically, it's not been maintained. The water's gotten dirty. And now, probably because they're drinking from it right now, they're getting sick. So we need to urgently fix this. Stop, everyone stop drinking. You're going to get sick. No! Let's see if they get sick as well, or if we're lucky. And we need the mechanic to fix this urgently, so the water filter. I mean, goodness, look at that. That's quite a problem. I don't know how no one noticed this. Yes, thank you. Please do run. Oh, here we go. Is it this one? Oh no, someone else is sick. Okay, well, it must be spreading through the air as well. Oh goodness. Okay, we're just going to quarantine as many as we need to until everyone is okay. And they'll be treated in the vet surgery as soon as they've, as soon as we have space in the surgery. Oh, look at them. They're just having a swim in the dirty water. I didn't know that EVs swam. Look at them. They're properly going for it as well. They're not just like walking on the bottom. They are actually swimming. That's so cool. We do need to rename our animals as well in here. So maybe we should do that first before we start building the food area. Let's go through the names you guys had suggested and rename all the animals in the Oceania section. So our male emu is going to be called Rocky. This angry-looking female emu is going to be called Karen. This female emu is going to be called Blueberry. And our capybara are trying to inbreed again. So it's because they've become... Oh, no, it's because you are probably their sibling. So this male needs to be put on contraceptives. Yeah, because it is one of the children of this habitat. I don't know how many we've got. We need to check on their numbers as well. I'm all over the place today. We do need to check on how many they have in an adult group, because I don't want it to be too many that they can't coexist happily. We've got a number of young capybaras, so it should be okay. Where do we need to check? Their social, probably. Says that they're happy with their group size and everything. Their social group is fine. So it seems that there's not too many of them yet, but we are going to get to that point where we do need to start releasing them. The contraceptives will stop them inbreeding as well. Because, to be honest, though, they can't be inbreeding with anyone because their parents are also in here. So we need to put them both on contraceptives because the dad can't breed with her either. Oh, and our final little emu is being treated right now, and she is going to be called Estrella. Look at our little quokka seeking treatment. Yeah, you guys have told me how to pronounce it. I was close with this one, I feel. Closer than I normally am. Look at the sloth. I was closer than I normally am, but yeah, it's not quokka, it's quokka apparently. So thank you to everyone who helped me actually pronounce the name of the animal correctly. We've got a power source has failed. Oh no, let's put this maintenance to every 3 months. We may just need more mechanics. We have only got one, which it may not be enough, but we'll see how they go. They seem to be doing okay so far. We only had 2 major outbreaks of disease. Our female redneck wallaby is going to be called Matilda, and our male redneck wallabies are going to be called Goblin, Brock, and Spring Roll. And our red kangaroo, this one keeps jumping, so this one definitely has to be Jumper. This one can be Claire. This one is Beans. This one is Sheila. This one is Ginger Ale. And our last one is Sydney. We should also add a roof to this little section over here. I forgot to do that in the last episode. So I'm going to grab one of these pieces and do the same thing as I have over there on this little section of the habitat here, just to give it a bit of a roof. There we go. Now we have a roof structure that somewhat makes sense that it stands up. It's a little bit of a mess, this, but I kind of like it as well. It feels quite kind of, I don't know, rusticy. It's all made out of logs and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to keep it how it is. And we need to build a guest facilities section now. And it looks like we finished our Egyptian fruit bat research, which is perfect. So we can now fix their habitat, which is definitely something we need to do. Now we can move one of our vets onto a different animal, and I think maybe we should just finish off doing our exhibit species and then work through. We've got to catch up with these to make sure that we catch up with the new animals, because we've got lots of animals here to research because we had so many in the exhibits, but I'm sure our vets will catch up soon. So far we've got a slush, a soda, a water as far as drink, and a burgers and pizza as far as food. So let's get ourselves a hot dog squad. Every time I say that, I just think of their like hot dog squad every time you place it. And if that was in Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster, I can't remember. I'm not sure if it's in both, but it was definitely in Planet Coaster. It made me laugh. And a Monsieur Frites. And then let's have another Pip Shot water over here, just to make sure we have enough. Because when we look at the demand, there's high demand for the water, and it's probably because it's really hot here. When we look at the temperature, like it's very warm, so we need to make sure we have enough water available for our guests. Okay, I feel like we've added in quite a lot of decoration now with these. There's maybe a little spot on that wall that could have a kangaroo or something on it, but I think we're pretty good now. There we go. Just added a couple of kangaroos in, and I'll probably do the same here as well. Just making it kangaroo mad, this area. But basically, I feel like this is good enough for our Oceania section. And I wish the lights would come up. It's because we're in that weird dawn period where it's like nice and red. Maybe we should add the awnings around all of them. I think I might do that actually. Just add the, whatever these are. I can never know what the term is for these. Fascias or something? Just adding these like surrounds to everything. And then I'm gonna add the awnings as well. Because I just feel like it will help with the sun too. It seems a bit odd to not give them it when we have them available to us. And they fit together quite nicely. So we've got some more food and some more water. That's good. We do need to get some more varied seating in here. I'm going to move this seating round to this side. Obviously temporarily moving them. And then I'm going to put in some seating for Oceania around the other side as well. And I tell you what, we'll just formalize the seating a bit more, spread it out a bit more for both areas, and have something that works a little bit better for both sections. Okay, I feel like that's a bit better. Now they've got good access to everywhere, but there's also a reasonable amount of seating for everyone. And we could maybe scooch these over a little bit, actually, looking at where the queues are. Yeah, we'll move them across just a tad. But generally, I think these are pretty good and out of the way, which is exactly what we want. Now, the animal we're going to put in today is the Jaguar, which is very exciting. They're very, very cool animal, and I think they need quite a lot of room. So we need groups of 1 to 2. So let's say we've got 2, and let's say we've got a couple of babies as well at one time, maybe 3 babies. They need about 1,000 meters squared. They also have a climbing and water requirement, so we need to make sure we consider that. And they need grade 3 climb-proof walls. Now, the climb-proof is going to be the interesting bit. I think we can probably do that with construction pieces as long as they're not climbable. So we need to have a look at that and see what works. And to make the habitat area, we're going to continue our path along this grid here. I'm going to leave angle snap on, so we go in a straight line. And we're going to carry on our zoo down that way and then branch off for the habitat here. Now, I want to leave enough space for a staff building here, but I do want to have the habitat be on this side and maybe use some of this elevation if we can. So I'm going to continue the path out and then maybe turn in here. Okay, we finally managed to put in. I was trying to put an accessible way into this this path around the habitat, and I feel like these slopes are fairly steep, but still more accessible for those who have different needs with mobility. So we've got a nice standard staircase here that's actually slightly wonky. So maybe we could trip some people up. But then we've got a more accessible route as well. And this way around, it's a very gradual slope up, which I think is probably the route that most people would choose to go. But they can go either way in this setup. And now I'm going to corner off some space here for these buildings, and then probably we can have a massive habitat here that's also across a few different levels. So I think that's going to be good for our animals. Now, as far as the barrier, I want to use the South America pack pieces, but they can't be climbable because the Jaguars would just leave. So we need to click on property and see which pieces are climbable. Okay, that's good. It looks like only these are climbable. So the wooden wall pieces that we've used for the capybara, giant anteater, and main wolf habitat aren't climbable, and neither are like the stone pieces and stuff like that, which you wouldn't expect to be climbable. I mean, the bamboo, I wouldn't know, to be honest, but I wouldn't expect stone to be. So it's good that we can use a similar setup than we use here and kind of keep the same theme. So I'm going to use these pieces because they're also more than 3 meters high, and kind of lay out the habitat and then put in null barriers on the outside of what we've just put down. Okay, we built quite a large fort area, it looks like now. And if we put a null barrier on the inside and put in a habitat gate, we should be able to start marking out this as like an actual habitat. Okay, so this habitat is almost 12,000 meters squared, which I think is good. It's going for kind of that 10 times, 12 times what they actually need, but that's the whole theme of the ethical zoo, and that is going to have climbing area and water area in it as well. Which will take up some, and obviously nature, that will take up some of the land requirements. At the minute, the guests aren't going to have a very good view of the habitat because we've got it all built up with like the wall pieces, whereas we need these kind of like glass viewing areas into the habitat. So they will see in through things like this. We could put a little vista point here actually while we remember. That'd be quite cute. Let's put a little vista point here. To let our guests know that this is a good place for a selfie. It should be quite a nice area. And before we go and put in the glass areas, let's actually get our Jaguars. So we've got a few to choose from. They're quite expensive. Let's order them by appeal. So there's this one from Frontier, this female, and this male. We could get these. Or we could go for black Jaguars as well. Maybe we should go for... Hey, let's go for normal Jaguars, like the normal. I say normal, they're both normal. This is what I think of as a typical Jaguar, which is the yellow coat. So yellow fur with black rosettes, that's it. Let's grab this one, and then let's grab the other male here. They're both 7. I should have probably looked at how old that actually is for a Jaguar. Let's have a look in species. They live to be 23, so 7 is actually really good. 7 is fine. They're still young. Now we've got both of them. Let's put them into our quarantine, and then they can be going through quarantine while we finish up our viewing areas. Let's make some viewing areas so our guests can actually see the animals too. We've got another capybara has grown up. So Quandale's trying to breed with them, which he shouldn't be. I don't know how many times I keep telling him. He's not listening to me. So I put our contraceptives. Okay, I feel like we've given them a fair few viewing areas. We're also going to put in a viewing area here where there's a little bit of like a dead zone for viewing. But that's just because of the gradient. It's quite hard to get the pieces to line up properly. So I'm going to put in some glass pieces to make this actually work. And we need the thin glass pieces. In fact, they're just over here. So I'm just going to copy one of these and add it to this group instead. And then I'm going to fill in all the glass panes in here. And it should be ready for our Jaguars. Okay, we've just added glass in, so that is ready to go. And our Jaguars are past quarantine. So let's add them both into... Oh, wow, they've got cool names. Let's add them both into this habitat here, which is going to be renamed from Habitat 10 to Jaguars. And we do need to fix this entrance somewhat, because this isn't actually going to work. So I'm going to do that right now while we have the chance, before they go in. Okay, we've got a bit of a bamboo feature here, but we're gonna build on top of this anyway with the roof pieces. But this is basically, obviously this wouldn't be real bamboo in real life. It would be some kind of material that looked like bamboo, some kind of wood or metal that had been painted or manipulated to look like it. Look at them, they're here. Oh my goodness. Look at that face. Wow, they're adorable. First things first, I'm going to pause because as they run, I'm getting more and more anxious. Let's see if they could escape. Oh, wow. Surprisingly, they can't. There's only one area that they can escape. Ah, it's because these are climbable, isn't it? Ah, that's a problem. Okay, so they can technically climb out of them. Let's find which pieces aren't. Climbable. Right, so these pieces. So the thick bamboo isn't climbable. Isn't that what we used here? Yeah, thick. Oh, no, it is climbable. Right, the bamboo's climbable. Of course it is. Let's rethink this design and maybe use the other pieces. Okay, that should work. Obviously, you need to use decoration because it's very, like, unidimensional. But we can definitely do that and make it look a lot nicer. Hopefully that resolves the problem, though. Yes, it has resolved the problem. They now cannot escape, which is perfect. Okay, so it's actually the right size for them, which is great. Insufficient area or crowding is present. Oh, okay, I'm going to pause. It's because they haven't got enough swimming or climbing area. I was going to say they definitely have enough area, but they don't have climbing or swimming. So that is important, and we'll definitely be doing that now. And I don't know if you see what I see, but this looks like a perfect water area to me. So I'm going to start doing that right now while I'm excited about it. Okay, that gives these guys a little bit more water. And they're going straight in, which is a great sign. Okay, so they've definitely got enough water now. That's way more than they need. And we just need to resolve climbing, which we'll of course do. And we can do it as part of the shelter requirements as well. Now, all our staff are yelling at us because we've not put them in the work zone. So let's do that right now. You guys also, we need to add the facilities in as well. That's a thing we haven't done. And I'm not sure if we've got enough vendors now. Let's train everyone up and then have a look at how many vendors we have. We have got vendors. Okay, let's assign them to the central hub, our new vendors. Oh, we may need more, but let's see how we go with them. Let's see how they do. It seems like everyone's pretty much staffing everything at the minute. And I'm assuming that these buildings are doing well and earning us money. Okay, yeah, definitely earning us money. I've got already lifetime profits of almost 1,000 on the first one, but still, they're all earning money, which is perfect. They're contributing to our finances. And our profit's gone down. Why is that? Oh, is that for the new year? It looks like our income is now lower than our ongoing expenses. So we need to very, very, very slightly, but we need to keep a good eye on that and make sure we improve it. And obviously we're doing that through donations. We're doing it through the new staff buildings we've just put in, like the new guest facilities. But hopefully that will increase. We can add in obviously donations for these guys, and that will earn us more. Oh, you can see they're using the Vista point as well. That's awesome. But we do need to keep an eye on that. That's a bit concerning. It is going down. Oh, okay. Okay, our income's already more. I think it was maybe a momentary blip. We're about break even, although our income is starting to pull ahead now. Needs to keep an eye on it, I think. Oh, and guest think tickets are underpriced, so that'll be the first thing we do. Let's put it to like 24 and 12. That should have quite a significant impact as well. The zoo is great. It's great scenery. Ticket price is great. It's very spacious. It's damaged things as well. That's a bit concerning. Let's look at crime. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's replace these. That's all fine. No vandals caught. There's been quite a lot of pickpocket victims in the zoo. Seeing as we do have a security guard, they're not doing an amazing job. I don't know where our action man went, but he needs to get back on it. Right, I'm going to pause because these guys aren't going to be happy either because they haven't got what they need as far as space and enrichment, and I don't want us to get protesters because of that. I'm going to leave the game on pause. It looks like our finances are recovering. Yeah, that's already way more. Okay, so it's just a momentary blip because we started a new year probably. Wow, look at them swim. That's so cool. Okay, we need to put in the rest of this water area that I was adding and then start adding in the nature that these guys need. And that's going to be from Central and South America and North America, grassland. So we can definitely do this. Let's go. Okay, we've added a layer of rocks in, and this enables us to do one of my favorite things in Planet Zoo, which is to add waterfalls in from the aquatic pack, because I just love them. So I'm going to add some waterfalls in over here on the water section. And the moment of truth. Oh, yeah. I do like that effect. I have to say, this one's slightly too long. I would like it if it was more like this. And perhaps I should change that with that in mind. But in fact, I am just going to change this one to be a slightly different effect. There we go. I quite like this waterfall effect we have now as well. So hopefully you guys do too. And hopefully our Jaguars do. Now the terrain we have for these guys is actually pretty good. It's kind of what they want. So I'm very tempted to just leave it because it is what emerged naturally in this area. I could maybe put it on like a 30%, kind of smooth out some of these areas. Like give them a little bit more soil. and perhaps a tiny bit more rock as well. But other than that, I'm very tempted just to leave it because it seems like they're pretty happy. Now it's time for plants. Okay, so Planet Zoo just crashed, which hadn't happened for me for a very long time, which is very strange. So I've just had to redo a couple of the nature bits. But basically, the Jaguars have a good nature score still. Let me find out what it is. There's one of them here. They've got 66% nature, and we've cleared a little area here to make their bedding and climbing areas. And then I'm going to put some more climbing areas just scattered throughout. So I'm going to do this using the basic wooden shelters. Okay, I feel like we've added quite a lot now, so they should have a good amount of climbing and bedding now with these areas in there. So they've got a nice central bedding area. They've got like a bit of a watchtower type thing, which I thought was quite cool. And then they've got a few areas where we built like a walkway, another small like watchtower, and then I put in one of like the climbing frame type in climbing enrichment. So they've got one of these down here as well, which is in a bit of a viewing area for guests too. So hopefully the guests like that and get to have a good view of the Jaguars enjoying climbing these things. Oh, one of them's playing with a cardboard box as well. That's way more interesting. Oh no, they've stopped. But how do they feel now? Okay, they've got loads of climbing area now. So if we click on them, let's have a look at them and where they're able to access, it seems like they've got massive coverage, so they can get right on top of all the roofs, which is what we want, and they still can't jump out of the habitat, which is perfect. That's kind of what you need.
Jaguars are good swimmers, often chasing and catching prey in water. Interestingly, the animals known as black panthers are actually jaguars with a rare color morph. Jaguars have an extremely strong bite that enables them to crush turtle shells, and relative to their body size, they have the strongest bite of all felids, alongside the clouded leopard. Female jaguars with cubs will be especially aggressive towards male jaguars to protect their young. Jaguars will often drag their kill into trees to eat them undisturbed, and they also often sleep in the trees. So it's a good thing we gave them lots of climbing enrichment. Although jaguars aren't endangered, their numbers are decreasing and they're near threatened. This is due to habitat loss caused by deforestation, as well as conflicts they have with ranchers, which is caused by the jaguars killing their livestock. Some demand for their pelts and also their body parts for traditional medicine still remain, which is horrible. However, it has decreased significantly in recent decades. To help conserve the natural jaguar population, many areas in which they live have been declared protected, which is great.
Oh, they're playing with it. Amazing. Oh, that was so cute. Look at them. I think we'll have to do the education and the donation bins in the next episode, and then we'll continue expanding our zoo by probably making the bat enclosure, because we haven't done that yet. If you guys have liked this episode, please give it a like. It really helps the channel out, and I'll see you in the next one.